forward to Tin2 and Godslayer coming up. Godslayer has already made the statement that he's going to play Lava Loon the entire way through. Tin2, we already saw last week, is a really, really capable Expo player, so I'm really excited to see how Godslayer...
Having glaring weakness to it, and here we go. McHugh opens with an Elixir Collector. That means you've got to go in and push. You cannot let people just get away with Collectors. Yep. Those 3 skeletons are murdering every graveyard skeleton.
The skeletons were spawning in an unfortunate position for Oxalate right there. And CMC skeletons were able to defend that graveyard almost perfectly, or as perfect as you can get.
Yeah, but hey, buddy, 1 for 5 Elixir trades, that's good work if you can get it.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Now CMC has 2 pumps on the field.
Another good opening. Ops 2 instead poison, instead of pushing on the already weak side, is going for the poison on the bigger side. Arguably, I think you could have poisoned the weaker Elixir Collector. You're not going to get as many pumps off, but you are at least keeping all your damage on the same side. But 3 Musketeers come out for McHugh. I do not believe that Oxalate thought that was going to be a 3 Musketeers deck, or maybe he did, but either way, using that poison puts him in a bad position because what's going to kill these Musketeers?
Well, I think the Executioner is probably going to have a decent advantage, but the Skeletons are going to come down. Night Witch is going to come down as well. Oxalate's going to need a Tornado this Battle Ram, but it looks like he's just going to take it and Tornado the Barbarians away from the tower so they don't get any more damage as they did.
The Musketeer was caught up on the bats, so that gave at least the tower a reprieve, wasn't getting shot up by the Musketeer that whole time.
Yeah, and then the Night Witch was able to take down the Musketeer. A little bit of a reset here, but CMC does have the pump on the field now.
Notice that you cannot see Elixir bars this week. That's on purpose so that people who are in the studio don't have a disadvantage over people who are not in the studio.
It's actually the new update. Oh. When you spectate, you can only see the person you're spectating's Elixir bar. Whoever's on the blue side, yeah, that's whose Elixir bar you can see.
Cool. Well, either way, we're not going to be showing Elixir bars in this week's tournament so that there is no competitive advantage or anything for either player. Before that, because of that though, I can't really tell you if anyone has a massive Elixir lead right now. It feels like McHugh's got a bit of an advantage because of the pumps and because of just the tempo. Like, it seems like he's the one starting all the pushes, keeping the pressure up. So I assume he's ahead in Elixir, but really, who could tell?
Yeah, 1,000 health left on Oxalate's left-hand tower. He's going to opt to poison the Musketeers here. I like that play.
Definitely. Now he's got to stop this damage bleeding onto his other side, though. He's going to use a great Executioner there, caught up by the Ice Golem. It allows the Executioner to clean up the Musketeer without taking any damage.
And this could be a graveyard push here for Oxalate. Yes. The Baby Dragon's going to come down. Here comes the graveyard. The
Tornado?
Ice Spirit is going to jump onto the Baby Dragon. Tornado's going to come pull everything together. Executioner and Baby Dragon doing a lot of damage. And the Skeletons might build up on the tower and dish a lot more.
And just like that, Oxalate takes the damage lead from McHugh at 13 seconds to go before we move into double Elixir time. McHugh did get away with a pump, though. We're going to see yet another split of Musketeers. Poison comes down. Can he hold those Musketeers in position so the poison kills him? He needs an Ice Golem down. Oh, he uses the Baby Dragon.
Is going to come down. Executioner is going to come down. It's going to get held up by the Ice Golem, but the Skeletons will clean up the Musketeer, no problem.
This can do it, though. Battle Ram is no joke.
Ice Golem is going to come down. Oh, the Battle Ram is going to connect to the tower. The Executioner is rolling down the right-hand lane. It's going to clean up the Night Witch, but the tower is locked on.
He's using he's pulling them all together. Oh, I guess okay. It's being held in place by the Night Witch, tornadoes them all together, but the Baby Dragon gets cleaned up, and now those 2 Musketeers are following the Battle Ram. This might be the moment where McHugh pulls the game out.
The Zap is going to come down. The Battle Ram is going to connect. The Barbarian is going to swing, and CMC takes the game. He was able to get the Elixir advantage with that pump and just kept the pressure up on Oxalate.
You can see both of their clan logos in the shot. You've got Nova on one side, the big H of Hammers Esports on the other. Oxalate gives a little bit of an exhaustive sigh. I think he knew he was so close to winning that game. It was in his hands, but the really...
We'll see the game-winning replay right here where he does Tornado the Musketeers, and we see right here the Ice Golem explodes, and then the 2 Musketeers lock on.
Actually, it looks like all 3 turn over. The goal there is, of course, you saw this happen a couple times. You want to put the poison down and then use Ice Golem to hold those Musketeers in place. A full-length poison will kill a Musketeer. You just have to game them, because McHugh had an Elixir Collector last game, and I feel like in any game with an Elixir Collector, the game becomes about the Elixir Collector. Can you counter it? Can you punish it when it's played? And if you can't, like Oxalate struggled in last game, the Elixir advantage will just take over. McHugh has switched now to more of a chip cycle control deck. It's minor poison, but with
minor 2.9.
Wow, oh, it's a 2. Oh, you're right, it is that deck. That's a very popular ladder deck.
Yep.
That he's bringing here into this tournament gameplay. On the other hand, we've got Oxalate playing Giant Beatdown, not Giant Poison, Giant Lightning with a Miner and a Night Witch.
Yeah. Interesting that usually a Giant Miner combination is used in a Giant Miner double minion deck where they have minions and minion horde. But in this one, Oxalate is kind of playing it a little bit different. I wonder his deck choice on this, but it looks like a very effective deck, and we'll see if he can make it work here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, what am I missing here about this deck, or what's sort of the new innovation? Of course, the new balance changes in. Deck lists are going to be changing a little bit because balance changes always throw everything into mix. A lot of confetti coming down on McHugh's side. Electro Wizard meets at the river. It's going to hopefully shoot that thing. It's going to kill it.
Yeah.
Oh, take one
did
hit.
Get one hit, though.
Those little advantages. It's a game of inches.
Yep. And the Night Witch will die here, but the bats almost clean up the Electro was no problem, but the Giant's going to walk in front of the tower and just tank all that damage from the Miner and the Electro Wizard.
Electro Wizard doesn't do that much damage. It's about 20 to 25% less DPS than a Musketeer, so if you can distract it or just put little junky stuff in the way to buy time, you can be pretty happy with it.
Yep, so the Skeletons are going to come down here and just take down this Giant, no problem, with the assistance of the Inferno Tower. And Oxalate does have the damage advantage right now.
Yes, he does. We're going into double elixir time here. We got 1 minute left on the clock. 62 viewers, the most live viewers we've had in-game of anyone. Both of these members, all clans are on deck to watch this game.
Oh yes, Goblins are going to come down in the back. They're just going to get logged away. The Giant's going to come down as well. Let's see if CMC keeps up the pressure with the Miner. There it is, top right-hand side. Mega Minion's going to come down on top of it. Giant's going to Giant's going to aggro the Electro Wizard, and Night Witch is going to come down behind it and clean up that Electro Wizard, no problem. Bats will clean up the Knight.
And the Miner Poison deck is such an interesting deck. If you're like a new tournament player, a new Clash Royale watcher, Miner Poison, the whole point is the Miner will deal some damage, but you're really setting up for, because whatever they defend with, you hit it with a log or a poison. You think Goblins are coming down, throw the log. You think Minions or Minion Horde is going to defend it, throw down the poison. And between getting the damage of both Minion and Poison, you kill the defending troops too.
The Miner of Oxalate was getting a lot of damage on the top left-hand side. Lightning's going to come down here, Miner's going to come down, Night Witch going to come down to defend against that Miner, and the Inferno Tower cleaned up the Giant, no problem.
We're both looking at about 1,000 health. Oxalate's tower is going down a little less, but he's about to start this counterattack here. Miner comes down to distract the tower. Log comes through, cleans up the remaining troops, but those bats have to get stopped. Electro Wizard cleans up the bats. You are right. A lot of damage coming down from Oxalate's tower. Now we're going to see another poison here.
And Zap comes down to reset the Miner. The Log might be able to come in and finish this tower off on the left-hand side.
I think so.
131, 101, 5, and CMC is going to take it in an extremely close match, but he will win 2-0 over Oxalate.
He's such a precise player. Like, you can just see that he's counting in his head, and he's like, there's this much damage on it. That is 2 Miner swings, plus a Zap, plus a Poison, plus a Log. I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a... He's doing the math in his head so effectively that he's never getting into those situations where it's like, oh, if only I had one more thing, I could win. He's
still super confident here in person, which is really exciting to see.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think he was one of the only Miner 2.9 players in bracket play, so it's exciting to see him bring that back.
Other than B-Rad.
Oh.
But man, I mean,
Well, they qualified.
True.
The players' names, you should probably write them down, memorize them. You're going to see quite a lot of them throughout this week and next week as well. I'll give you a quick rundown of how this works. So this is a round-robin style tournament, which means every player here is going to be playing every other player once, which means everyone's playing 7 matches. A match is a best of 3 games, and the way you earn points is by winning a match. So even if you lose a game, you'll still get the full point by winning 2 of the 3 matches. Now, it might look a little skewed right now, but the way this scoreboard works is by score differential. So essentially, it's your wins minus your losses. So you'll notice that Rice might be sitting in the middle at 2 wins and 2 losses, so he's technically at a 0 differential, while Tin 2's above him at 1-0. And just to explain the color coding at the top, if you do end this round robin in the top 2, you get preferential seeding going into our finals. And if you end bottom 2, you're out, you're done, your dreams are crushed, and we're not going to get to see anymore.